I'd like to go ahead and call this meeting to order and declare a quorum of 6 members present.
Shh.
Excuse me. We're going to start with item C, a public hearing to receive input on proposed school district budget and tax rate for the 2017-18 school year. Dr. Ely.
Thank you, Dr. Yokin, members of the board, members of the community. We're here for a public hearing regarding the 2017-18 CSISD school budget and the tax rate that will be voted upon at the meeting at 7 o'clock. Mr. Martindale, Deputy Superintendent and Chief Financial Officer, will take us through a brief presentation, and then we'll open it up to the community for anybody who has input on either the proposed budget or tax rate. With that, Mr. Martindale.
Thank you, Dr. Ely. And of course, earlier at board workshop this evening, we discussed this in detail. So this presentation, our public hearing, won't be quite as detailed as the conversation we had earlier this evening. Of course, the purpose of our public meeting is to discuss the proposed school district budget that will be coming for consideration at the regular meeting at 7 p.m., as well as the proposed tax rate to support that proposed budget. Our public meeting, our hearing this evening was advertised and posted according to state law and local policy. On the revenue side of our proposed 17-18 budget, we're coming in just shy of $112 million at $111.8 million. The two primary drivers on our revenue budget or projections, of course, are our local property value, which is coming in at 11.4% over prior year, and we are using a projected enrollment growth of 2.9% to determine our state revenue, projected state revenue funding as well. That would put us at approximately 13,580 students for the 17-18 school year. On the appropriation side, we're projected $114.2 million in expenditures. Of course, again, as we discussed earlier, we're projecting a recapture payment of just shy of $6 million. The district has not been subject to a recapture payment for some years due to our rising property values and our slowed growth, student enrollment growth. This has sent us into recapture, and again, we're projecting just shy of $6 million with the proposed budget that we have for consideration this evening. We did add $2.13 million in payroll cost to give our current employees a 1.5% salary increase, as well as allotting funds for equity adjustments to move us into proposed salary schedules and pay grades recommended by TASB, as well as increasing the district's contribution to employees' health insurance premiums by $10 a month. We also added $2.36 million of new personnel, which included positions throughout the district, as well as the staffing of our third intermediate school, Pecan Trail, that will open this school year. Our payroll costs do account for 80% of our appropriations budget. I'll tell you, last year, payroll accounted for 84% of our overall budget. But when you account for the recapture payment of $6 million on our appropriations, that does shift the percent of our actual appropriations budget allotted to payroll cost. We are planning for a deficit of $2.4 million, of which we will account for through the use of our current fund balance. We have a little bit over $32 million in our fund balance at this time. We're estimating after the 17-18 year that we'll have $29.6 million remaining. That accounts for 26% of our proposed appropriations budget for 17-18. The proposed tax rate to support the budget before us later this evening is an overall tax rate of $1.398. The maintenance and operations remains at $1.04. Our debt service will be 35.8 cents. That's up from 35.6 cents. That difference, or 0.2 of a cent, is to account for the second half sale of our 2015 bonds. The second half, we divided those into two separate sales. The first one last year cost us 3.31 cents. This one is going to be 0.2. So collectively for the 2015 bond package will be 3.51 cents overall. But again, just a change of 0.2 cents or 0.2 of a cent to this year's INS rate. This time I'd be happy to answer questions or also receive public comments.
Do we have anybody public comment? Any discussion? Thank you very much. We'll adjourn and we'll be back at 7 o'clock.